Hey guys, got another knife review. Right now I'm going to be taking a look at the Spyderco Dodo. This is the newest iteration of the Spyderco Dodo. This is the orange version. A couple years ago they made a blue version, and I guess that was such a big hit that they had to make another sprint run, and they did. This is the orange version. So first impressions of this knife is that it's pretty sweet. It's just got a very unique shape to it. You'll never see another knife that's shaped anything like this. It's just so odd, but it's something. The design is actually pretty nice. I mean, I think it's an attractive knife myself. Obviously I bought it. But the ergonomics on this thing are just absolutely incredible. I didn't really think about that much because I just thought it was cool, so I got it. But the ergos on this thing are absolutely incredible. Just look at the contour here of how the grip fits your hand perfectly. You got a front choil, little cutout, like a rear choil. Then you have a center detent for your two center fingers. And that just gives you an incredible grip on this little knife. And it is a little knife. I totally didn't expect it to be this small, but it'll fit in your hand. It's extremely small. That was probably the first thing that came to my mind when I took it out of the box, just how tiny it was. This blade is just it's puny. Look at that. The blade's 2.063 inches, so it's like 2 inches, with a cutting edge that's only about 1 3/4 of an inch. So it's absolutely minuscule. But I mean, this would be an incredible knife for opening packages or cutting rope, just doing any kind of small detail stuff. This thing would be incredible for opening boxes and whatnot with this extremely sharp, recurved tip. The blade shape on this is very strange as well. It's sort of got an S shape there, very reminiscent of like the matriarch and civilian and whatnot. But it's just pretty sweet. It's got some nice grinds to it. You can see that the front of the blade kind of has a little grind there, and it's I believe it's a hollow grind. It goes about halfway up the blade, and I think they're having some difficulties grinding these things because watching reviews and other people with this knife, it seems like the edges come out a little bit mangled, and mine's no exception. There's definitely some imperfections in this edge. It just feels as rough as anything, but it's it's actually pretty sharp. It'll slice paper. It won't slice it incredibly well, but it definitely will slice a piece of paper without hanging up too much. But it just looks like there's a lot of machine marks on this, on the edge, not the blade but the edge, because it just seems like it's probably a difficult feat to accomplish. Which doesn't really, it's with all of them, I'm pretty sure, so it's not really a detraction from this knife. But you can see you have your Spidey hole there, your logo, this S30V, which is a good all-around purpose steel. Have your maker's mark there in the Golden, Colorado, USA Earth. Now the locking mechanism on this thing is the ball bearing detent, which to me looks like it's reminiscent of the Benchmade Axis lock, except with the ball bearing. But it is actually quite different because the ball bearing is actually free floating. It just has this, it's compressed with this rod with this little cup that kind of seats against the ball to keep it tensioned and up into the slot there to make sure you have a solid lock. And I mean, you can take your fingers and you can, you know, twist this ball around in all directions. It's, you know, totally free flowing, and you can pull back the spring. You'd have to use like both hands. I can't do it here on camera, and you know, the ball will actually just be, you know, flopping back and forth. But I have to be honest, I really have a hard time operating this thing. It just, I don't know, maybe my thumb's too fat, but it's just, I mean, there's you know, recessed cutouts here around the ball bearing lock, but it's a pain getting my thumb in there. I can hardly get a grasp on it, and it's just quite difficult to do. So it's got a pretty interesting closed look to it as well, which I think actually looks pretty sweet. It's so cool. And also in the closed position, it just, you know, contours your hand perfectly for like a pommel impact device. You can use this elongated portion right here as your impact tool, and you know, you can get a good grip on this thing. I'm sure that wouldn't be fun for whoever you hit. So that could be an effective non-lethal alternative. And you have your famous Spidey wire pocket clip. This is actually the first Spyderco that I've had with this wire pocket clip, and initial impressions on it is that it's awesome. I just like how simple it is. It's got a very simplistic look to it, and it just allows you to see more of the knife, you know, because it's so transparent. There's no you know, full metal pocket clip that's covering up half of your knife. You know, you can see the color of the G10 all the way through the pocket clip, and you know, it's got some good tension on it, but it's actually quite a bit easier to get it in and out of your pocket, because if you think about it, you're only the only friction being created is by these two wire sides here. You don't have an entire metal piece that needs to slide over your pants, so there's less friction, you know, trying to get this thing on and off of your pants. So it actually makes it quite a bit easier. And the pocket carry is actually pretty comfortable. I thought it would be kind of odd, seeing as how you're gonna have this, you know, I don't know, call it a nipple portion of the knife, you know, sticking up into your waist, but it actually wasn't that bad. What else? Very simple construction. I mean, it's got your pivot, and then it's got looks like there's two screws here, and then a standoff. And there's no liners on this thing. It's just pure G10. But the G10 is pretty thick, so I mean, it's not a deal, a big deal. The only metal is you have a stainless steel back spacer that runs about halfway down the spine, or the handle, and I guess just your locking mechanism is all that is going to be metal on this knife. So it's pretty lightweight as well, only 2.6 ounces, and see, overall it's 6 and about a third of an inch. So it's tiny. It's really small. Let me just give you a quick size comparison here. Put this on the bottom and grab a couple knives to show you real quick. Show you it against the Boker Albatross, the Strider PT, and just for the heck of it, the large Sebenza. So you can just see how tiny this thing is in relation to the large Sebenza. The blade on the Sebenza is almost, you know, more than 3/4 the size of the entire Spyderco Dodo. So it is definitely a small knife, very close in size to the Strider PT. I'd say it's just a little bit shorter than the PT, and it's pretty similar in weight too, actually. I mean, this is probably a little bit heavier, but yeah, I think you get the picture. It's a small knife. So I mean, if you've owned the other Dodo, it's going to be the same knife. But if you've never actually owned a Dodo before, it's a pretty small knife, which is also, I think, is a pretty cool thing, because I wouldn't want if you had a knife this shape and just have it be huge, I think it would be quite impractical, because first off, the only reason it's so ergonomic is because of the shape of it and the size of it. So, you know, if you had this same shape just in a larger size, it's not going to fit your hand. So I think this is the maximum, you know, size they can make this design and have it be functional. And I just think in its current iteration here, it's absolutely awesome. The G10 is very sweet looking, just like a hunter orange sort of. I think the blade is pretty neat. I like the shape of it, and it's the action opening it is really good, actually. Obviously, I already mentioned about closing it, but you know, it's very smooth. The D10 is not that difficult to overcome. You can see there how that works with the ball bearing. You open it and it just pushes the bearing down, and then as you further open it, the bearing will pop into place on top of the blade tang there. And it's actually, you can flick it open, or I promise I can do it. I'm just not don't have a lot of space here, so it can be done. Not that hard. You know, you can do your spider drop. So that's pretty much it. I mean, it's a pretty sweet knife. It's kind of hard to get right now, I think, because pretty much all the pre-orders for it have been filled, and I think they're just starting to be shipped out by all the companies that took pre-orders. So I think the only way you're going to be able to get it is you know, secondary market like USN, which is what I did. I got this for, you know, a really good price off of USN, brand new, and you know, so if you want one of these, you're gonna have to check secondary markets. Alright, that's pretty much it. I thank you for watching. Again, this is Spyderco Dodo, and please stay tuned for some more knife reviews in the coming future. Please like the video and also subscribe to my channel.